Hi, I'm Johnny Ort and here are today's sports headlines. In football, Philip Clement's Rangers returned to European action last night with a trip to Swedish champions Malmo in the UEFA Europa League. After taking the lead within a minute of the match, Rangers ran out 2-0 winners with an assured performance. They're back in the Europa League next Thursday with French side Olympique Lyon coming to Ibrox. But before that, it's a return to league action as they host Hibs. It will be Rangers' first match back at Ibrox Stadium this season. In women's football, Celtic Football Club made history last night. They became the first ever Scottish side to make it to the group stages of the Women's Champions League. They overcame Ukrainian side Volska Poltava over two legs with an aggregate score of 3-0. Due to the war in Ukraine, both legs of the tie were hosted by Celtic at the Albert Bartlett Stadium in Airdrie, and the girls took full advantage of the home support. Elena Sadiku's team are in the draw for the group stages that take place later on today. After a great start to the championship season with local club Ayr United, former Celtic captain Scott Brown was seen as the leading candidate to replace Craig Levein as St Johnstone boss as he lost his job last week. But after talks with St Johnstone owner Adam Webb broke down, Brown will stay put at Somerset Park with Ayr and continue to fight for promotion. That's after agreeing a new deal until 2027. Aberdeen first team coach Peter Levin and Larne boss from Northern Ireland Tiernan Lynch are also in talks with the Perth club, who host Celtic in the Premiership tomorrow night. On the East Coast, after Stephen Naismith was relieved of his duties as manager of Hearts, that was after an 8th straight loss at the weekend to St Mirren, talks are underway for the vacant position at Tynecastle. It's not yet clear who Hearts are targeting, but it is expected that Brighton owner Tony Bloom, who's close to agreeing a deal with Hearts, will have a say on who's the next man in the Tynecastle hot seat. Closer to home, St Mirren will be without Sean Rooney for their trip to Motherwell tomorrow. It comes after the summer signing has been suspended by the Paisley club until further notice after an incident in Glasgow city centre last week. And over the past couple of months, Rangers have been playing their matches at Hampden Park due to ongoing maintenance work at Ibrox. With so much rich history taking place at the home of Scottish football, many people will tend to forget that Hampden Park first originated in a different location. Our reporter Kyle Murphy has more.
Welcome to Hampden Park, the home of Scottish football. As well as hosting the men's and women's national team games, plus the major cup finals that happen in Scotland, this iconic ground has been host to some of football's most memorable moments, including Zinedine Zidane's volley in the 2002 Champions League final. However, you'd be mistaken to think that this was the only Hampden Park to ever exist. Located in the south of Glasgow, this abandoned area used to be the home of Queen's Park Football Club from 1884 to 1903, with Third Lanark Football Club taking over until 1967. Cathkin Park, also known as Hampden Park during Queen's Park reign, welcomed thousands of fans weekly as they showed their support for their beloved teams. Richard McBrearty, a curator of the Scottish Football Museum, spoke more about the history of Cathkin Park.
But it was a great venue for Third Lanark and for Scottish football. It had a great football field. You know, a lot of the old football players would talk about the quality of Cathkin Park, of the pitch itself. And you know, it reflects Third Lanark's status as well. It was a decent sized ground. It could hold well over 40,000, 45,000. It'd be capable of holding in its day. And you know, some really big matches took place here with Third Lanark.
Nowadays, this park lays empty, with many people unaware of its footballing background. With the old terraces hidden amongst the trees, it's extraordinary to think that this deserted ground managed to hold over 40,000 people. McBrearty discussed what should be done to raise awareness and inform people of the important history that Cathkin Park has.
There's a brilliant story there to be told, and all you need to do is get that story out there and get it, I suppose, designed in a way that makes it presentable for people to take an interest in it, whether it's TikTok or it's other forms of social media.
I'm joined by Kyle. Kyle, thanks for joining me. Richard told us some very interesting facts there about Cathkin Park, but not many people actually know the history behind it. Why do you think that might be?
I think just because, you know, it's been many years since Scotland and Queen's Park have been at Cathkin Park, and I think that's what the Scottish Football Museum are trying to do. They're trying to regenerate the knowledge about Cathkin Park, trying to invite people to the museum to learn about it and even visit Cathkin Park.
So how can the story of Cathkin Park be told around Scotland to as many people as possible?
I think, like what Richard said, it's just visiting the museum, trying to indulge yourself in information about it, what teams played there, what games were there, and just learn about the different attendances. The Cathkin Park had about 50,000 most weeks when games were played there, so it's just all about just getting the word out there and just trying to let people know.
And is there any upcoming events at Cathkin Park people could go to and find out more?
Well, the Hampden Collection always do a trail. They target all the old Hampden Park, starting from the Hampden Bowling Club to Cathkin Park, and then eventually in Hampden Park. It's a trail. They do that every year, and it's always a good way to bring some knowledge to yourself and what East Hampden represents.
Brilliant, Gil, thank you for joining me. And finally, in basketball, Scotland's only professional side, the Caledonia Gladiators, are back in league action for the first time this season, for the first time in the new Super League basketball format. They host Manchester Basketball in East Kilbride with tip-off at 7:30 tonight. The Gladiators finished joint second in the league last year and will hope to do one better this season after strengthening their squad in the summer. The Glasgow side will be confident they can pick up some silverware this year. For all the latest news and sports headlines, head to the UWS website. I've been Johnny Orr. Have a great afternoon.